Hello and welcome. Today, we're diving into a really practical guide on how lawyers can start using the power of AI and, what that might mean for the rest of us. So let's jump right in. All right, I want you to imagine something. Let's say you're a partner at a law firm and you're hiring a new legal assistant. This candidate, they're brilliant, they're unbelievably fast, and they're ready to work around the clock. But there's something else on their resume that's, well, it's pretty mind-blowing. Get this, your new hire scored in the 90th percentile on the uniform bar exam, and that new assistant, it's an AI. We're talking specifically about GPT-4. And no, this isn't some far-off science fiction fantasy. These are the tools that are available to use right now. So, look, the big conversation here really isn't about AI replacing lawyers. Not at all. It's about how lawyers can take these incredibly powerful language models and transform them into super productive personal assistants, tools that amplify their own skills and expertise. So to really see how this plays out in the real world, we're going to follow a lawyer who just got a new case. And her first big challenge, it's not actually the case itself. It's figuring out how to talk to her new AI assistant. Her case is about a sauce maker, right? He thinks a big supermarket chain broke a promise to sell his product. The whole thing hinges on this legal idea called promissory estoppel. All that really means is you can't just go back on a serious promise if somebody else has already acted on it and would be hurt if you did. And this, right here, this highlights the #1 mistake people make. We're all so used to search engines, right? We type in these short little phrases. But with AI, you have to completely fight that instinct. So instead of just typing promissory estoppel cases, our lawyer gives it the whole story, all the facts, the context, and the specific legal rules she wants the AI to focus on. Okay, so the secret sauce for talking to an AI, what they call prompt engineering, it really just boils down to these three things. First, you got to give it details, lots of context. Second, you iterate. It's a conversation, not a command. You ask follow-up questions to steer it where you want it to go. And third, this one's a great little trick, you just add the phrase, think step by step. It actually forces the AI to lay out its reasoning, which lets you check its work and, weirdly enough, usually gets you a much better answer. All right, so our lawyer now knows the rules of engagement. Let's see what happens when she puts her AI assistant to work on some real legal research. You'll see her role start to shift from just being a researcher to becoming more of a sharp interrogator. So she finds a case that looks relevant, Chipokis v. Hug. Now, instead of spending hours reading through it, she just pastes the entire text of the case into the AI and asks a super specific question, telling it to quote its answer directly from the text. And boom! Just like that, the AI pulls the exact 3-part test the court used. Was there a clear agreement? Did someone rely on it? And is it fair to enforce it? And this is so powerful because it's not a summary. It's the court's actual words, which means our lawyer can verify it instantly. But she's not done. Remember, it's a conversation. So she drills down on that first part, the clear and definite agreement, and asks the AI why the court decided it didn't exist. And again, she demands a direct quote. I mean, here's where you really see the magic of the process. The AI pinpoints the exact reason. The language was conditional. It all depended on a final lease that was never actually signed. So our lawyer is basically fact-checking the AI in real time, and she's getting a deep understanding of this case in minutes, not hours. Okay, so now she has this rock-solid understanding of the law. She's ready to start building her own argument. And this is where she shifts gears again, from using the AI as a researcher to using it as a partner, a collaborator to help her draft the case. And this is where it gets really strategic. She tells the AI to act like a sparring partner. First, she says, give me the best arguments that there was a clear agreement. And it does. It points to the president's interest, the specific discussions. Then she says, okay, now give me the best arguments against it. And it lays those out too, that the talks were just preliminary, that key details were missing. The AI takes all the raw facts and starts structuring them into actual legal arguments. So from there, the next logical step is to bring it all together. The lawyer can now tell the AI, okay, take our strongest points and weave them into a persuasive argument for a legal brief. Oh, and while you're at it, make sure you shut down those counter-arguments we just came up with. You see? This is so much more than just finding information. This is guided, sophisticated draft creation. So you're probably thinking, wow, this AI can basically do everything. But this is the moment where we really need to pump the brakes, because the source material is crystal clear on this point. For all of its incredible power, The lawyer's judgment, their expertise, and their ethical oversight are more important than they've ever been. And here's why. AIs can hallucinate. That means they can literally just make things up, invent facts, invent sources, and state them with 100% confidence. Then there are the huge confidentiality risks. You can't just feed sensitive client information into a public AI model. That's why every single thing the AI produces has to be verified by a human expert. The AI is an amazing tool, for sure, but the lawyer is the craftsperson, and they are always responsible for the final product. Which really brings us to this final, pretty provocative question. The thinking isn't so much that AI is going to replace lawyers, but it does raise a different and maybe more pressing question. Will the lawyers who learn to master these AI tools end up replacing the ones who don't? Now that's something to think about. Thanks for joining us.